Brian Vickers and Kyle Busch. Brian drives the number 55 My Classic Garage Toyota for Michael Waltrip Racing. Kyle drives the number 18 M&M's Halloween Toyota for Joe Gibbs Racing. And let's go to Brian first. Brian, talk about your qualifying lap. You were in here earlier today, and Martinsville's been a track that you've been able to get around very, very well here of late.
Well, thank you. Obviously, always good to be in here after qualifying. I had the opportunity to be in here before qualifying with some good news, and it's tough. Like you qualify second, and you want to be really excited about it, but you're frustrated because you're not first. Especially when we have a really good car in practice. And more than anything, I just got to thank all the guys at Michael Waltrip Racing. Great car from the moment we unloaded all the way through qualifying. Rodney, all the guys, myclassicgarage.com car did a just. Toyota showed up with a great engine package, I think, here from Martinsville, and it's paid off. I would have really liked to sit on the pole, but we'll take a second, and now we just got to do it 500 more times.
And Kyle, this is your 19th top 10 start in 2012, your 8th top 10 start here at Martinsville. Talk about your car and about your outlook for Sunday.
Well, I felt like our car was pretty good. The guys have done a really nice job at JGR building some fast race cars here and last half of the year, and we've been seeing and reaping some of those benefits. So we just continue to strive to work hard through the remainder of the year and plan on getting ourselves ready for 2013. So good effort here in Martinsville to qualify third. Like Brian said, you wish you could find that 2000s or 200s or whatever you're looking for to sit on the pole, but overall, it's a good day for us, and not many times do we get to qualify in the top 10 here at Martinsville, so this is good.
Take questions for Kyle or Brian. If you have one, Mike, go ahead, please.
Yeah, this is for both Mike Mullin from MikeMullin.net. You got Brad Keselowski back in the field. You'll be coming up on him probably pretty early to lap him. You guys know what Martinsville is like. Now, you got caught in a couple of things last year here that were sort of controversial, and you got caught in some things last fall that got pretty controversial. How are you going to handle the tour leader when you come up on him and probably lap him? I mean, are you going to play – is it fair game, or do you have to, play a little easy with him?
I just hope I have that problem. If we're in a position that we're that fast that we have to worry about passing or lapping, chase contenders, that's a great problem to have. And my job this weekend is to try to win the race. Obviously, I've always raced everyone the way they race me, and Brad and I've never had a problem, so I don't predict having one, but accidents happen, and but my plan is to try to, if I was given that opportunity to pass the points leader, is to do it as fast and cleanly as possible.
You think you work it as best you can, no matter who it is. Whether you're, the 34 car or the 48 car or the 24, the 2, doesn't matter who it is. So, I'm sure those guys are going to work hard tomorrow and get their car a lot better in race trim and make it where it's drivable and easy to drive, so then they can work their way forward and not have to look in their rearview mirror.
Steve Richards, the PRN. For both of you, obviously Junior's back after a couple of weeks, but can you recall a time where you went out and had to race hurt, where you really may not have wanted to, but you went out and did it just because it was your job and you had to do it, no matter what the series?
I've had a lot of practice at getting in and getting out, sitting out, being pulled out, being in the hospital, being out of the hospital. I actually texted Junior after I heard that he was being pulled out of the car and just told him, I said, listen, man, I know your pain. Nothing's gonna hurt more than sitting wherever you're sitting, watching your car. It's like watching. I always felt like I describe it as like watching your girlfriend cheat on you. I mean, it's just, it's just not an experience that's, when you see someone else in your car, it's just painful. It just hurts. It just gets right at your heart. And I hate it for him the last 2 weeks, but glad to have him back. And, when you get back in the car, it's honestly, I can't speak for him. I'm going to go on the limb and say that this Friday was the best he's felt in 3 weeks when he got back in that race car.
Yeah, I think it was obviously a really good opportunity for him to get back, especially at Martinsville, one of his favorite racetracks to come to, it seems like. So, for me, I had to play hurt one time. It was back in Legends Cars days. I was working on the car, and my dad was welding on it, the back side of the car, and I was working at the front, and one of the welding sparks grazed my eye. I had to go to the hospital and get a patch and ointment and all that stuff, and then race that night with one eye. So won that night too. So
How was your depth perception that night?
it was terrible. It was terrible. I tell you, dude. Luckily it was. Well, I guess it's not lucky which eye it was, but luckily it was my right eye, so I could see the wall and where the wall was at, but I really couldn't see across my nose this way. So, it was pretty. So that's the only time I've ever had to do it. No broken bones or anything else, but you feel someone else's pain, like Brian says, when you have to sit out, and obviously I've got experience at that here last year, about 360 days ago. So, it's no fun to see your car running around the racetrack without you, but for Junior's health and for the rest of the competitors, it was probably the safest and best bet for him, which, it's glad to have him back here this weekend.
Any other questions? All right, guys, thanks for coming in. Look forward to seeing you race on Sunday.